wind factor. You have to increase here to produce of interest now, because we're working on that to start it. Or ultimately, build to give to them or a grant. We build and we want to make sure that there's money in the budget to do that. And we're working now on what sort of model we will establish. So a lot of work is taking place behind the scenes. A lot of the things we promised don't want to fall out the sky just like that. The next thing is the development bank that I spoke of. We're already looking at that bank. We want the bank to have chapters for of our country. We want to working with the commercial bank system so that those who need to start small businesses beyond the they can get a zero interest loan for, that we can leverage to do a blending where they can the commercial banks where expand business. Hundreds of other we're working on. Now I think last week just give approval to create over 30 megawatts of solar power in region 2 and 10. Those are far advanced. We intend to which will come early and hopefully we I saw this week that we are putting it on a back burner. Sometime, oh, this is not that would make the project feasible. That there would be this project that they will not. It will take much longer than a floating LC. I think it needs this country. Picture are a warning put in place. They can hold. They will hold consultation. They can. But individuals can write them too. But individuals can write them too. So, no, the report that never surfaced. These people are so that have money. If you go to the US, you Google it online, and you check whether that institution is up. The speaker has been elected in August of this year, weeks before the election. So, and all these, so in region, how come that it's out? How come it's not supported? They don't know. They don't know who voted or councillors in that region. And whomever they think. But in region 4, the people wanted the PPP. They must reflect the will of the people. Secret ballot. So we nominated the ANC person because we knew her from a long time. And the returning officer said, since both parties nominated, there's no need for the election. For the election, the person, there was only one person nominated by both parties, win and the PDP. So, that's my report. But they had to make an issue of it. Here, they were offended with our friends of the other side, our long-standing parties. They with us. So get the chairmanship of all leadership position, even where in the two regions, where they didn't win the plurality of the votes, they were won by the PDP. That's what they wanted. They essentially wanted an anti-democratic system. That's what we wanted. And we didn't have no, they had a formal engagement. Oh, they were offended, they had calls, who was calling who, and waiting till the night. So, that is what took place. Every single day, they present themselves every day of some conspiracy, etc. So let's to the Mohammeds. So they said, well, they will become a blue canary. They were Canary and Prince Canary went to Barbados for a session. And at that karaoke session, clearly the U.S. prosecutors were not impressed with what they had to say. 20 years maximum imprisonment. So the singing session didn't go 2 years anymore. Very long time. In fact, when they claimed that we had taped, the people who were worried about the singing are more about the singing. You see one GHK lab, the talk of the singing, a full-fledged investment into in assisting the Mohammeds to evade the massive sum. Seeing the assessment $91 billion. The sums would be substantial on the campaign trail on all of these. From 2019 to 2024, they didn't name the people. I guess let me come back in the courts. Is in full panic of a member of the Muslim community. When they were want solidarity, indictment. So, to defend, talking about revolution, entitled to tell the President Trump and the others to do this to us. They will make that, let's see if they will make that case. So, the only reason the Mohammeds don't debate it, to take the few things that he gave away before the elections or just after his ass, thinking that it would prevent what is happening now, the indictment from the United States of America. We're looking forward to 2021 with great enthusiasm, because they always come the PDP out. That's the problem they make. That's the mistake they make. Every election, oh, minority government, this can happen. We prove them wrong over and one again. We're going to be sitting down working. I started off by people, including those who did us. But we also, don't worry, many of you have been busy now. You'll get a chance to see me. All those police who during the campaign and afterwards approach about promotion, there is a problem about promotion.
PPP is known as a government to deliver on economical promises. The PPP government will get serious with this kind of corruption.
No, but give me a case. Give me 20. Cool. Well, that's it. I told you that after the elections, we're going to come back to the tax cases. We'll come back to the tax cases. Publicly, these agents. So we take
some section accent roles. Do you think you'd be able to think if there are any shortcomings with the
extradition request international. So people should have process every time it's election petition. Supposed to be heard continuously, until we have 2 or 3 days of intense present
public statements for Nepal-like revolution really adds up to inciting public terror and pass a
that hoping to instigate or people to protect themselves, not to protect. They don't have a iota of concern about democracy, about people. People can see it in their faces and their have to deal with that matter. I'm dealing with it here today at the party executive because who will want to see who will go in that army? They can go and protest in the USA. They're all the ones who are living.
Are you concerned that we can
think that is in our law? With extradition requests. If there are attempts to disrupt the country, separately and appropriately. A small country contracted me a whole road. A big contracted me check the steel, do everything, the method of installing the steel cement. Now working. Because when we're going to start doing these drills, you don't want one man to build it. Get more contracts in. But if there's so much work, do it on time, the quality gets affected a little bit. So we have when people have grades with nice check everything at the same time. Flow from the gas early. Flow from the gas early to that. To that. Determining the feasibility of the project, that son and daughters can have every option. Bring the gas on shore for industrial, which is a bit more challenging. Otherwise, everything pipelines are free pass. When an LNG option could be a feasible option and can be done swiftly, but they don't take it off the table. Now, it's premature for him to do.
Over in Suriname, we saw in our weeks that Suriname is no walk back against the government's Suriname first made this announcement.
So, my argument then about the signing bonus. Money, how much money? And it will give you every year, and it will give you every year annualized payment of this shareholding that you have, a return on it. You may get a tiny return than spend to take all how much goes to the cost rather than 75%. Out of it. They want what here provides a certain amount to take equity, but they have to raise capital and raising capital. So that's reasons why they may have bought the promise of every Suriname. That's or they, in an attempt to make everything we do here look like PPP, but from any part of the world, and say, oh, it's a cloud that Fikram Barak was talking about cash, about the model of is very different, and cash grant is just part. But so far, Ghana laid out some of the things. Very solid voice for rule of law globally. Participation and engagement. Thoughtfulness. So she an asset, huge asset to us. The project, and we're looking for money. That is a project that is a collaborative project. We move at the pace at which we can unilaterally, like in that labor beach rate. So we go out and raise our money on our own. We don't have to wait on a second part to do that, to fund the bridge. We can get it started. With Suriname, it has equal matters. They have to raise their share of the we spoke about the difficulties with public finance in Suriname, so they have an additional trying to raise substantial sums.
But it has been brought up, especially with transport.
Fraud, yeah, that's it. Fraud, yeah, that's it. With fraud, there's nothing mechanisms that we have to explore. That we have to explore. For a number where GGMC, where people sometimes people who are corruptly involved in this. I wonder if a private action could only the system system, we have two systems, right? The old system, and we moved to titles because it allows us the old system where you have to go through the new system, which is a new system. I see this start.
My question was, there is a global agreement that African countries are expected to sign on. Is there any
So, it is a curriculum. Follow that. Their obligations under the UNFCCC process. The United States of America has made it in the agreement. This is the big on a per capita basis. If the United and many developed countries cut their emissions, that produces a fraction of the global emission, running behind all of these right now in the world. But we have to ask ourselves this. If we stop and everything else, and we stop Exxon, don't save